Hi guys, it's Sasha Donnellan. So I'm making this video because I really want to document my full kind of process as a designer. So for anyone new here, I just showed at Ireland's First Fashion Week. I showed about a month ago now. I had a custom commission. So I'm going to be doing a custom for Laura Whitmore for the British Fashion Awards. It's my first custom for a client. I've done fitted garments to models before, but I'm really excited to actually work on quite a big bespoke piece. So I wanted to document the whole process. So I'll show you the look and then talk about how this opportunity came about. As you can see, it's heavily inspired by bridal. There is a very fitted bodice, which Laura specifically was going for. I have my little fabric samples. So I went to Shepherd's Bush. They have some really good places that do silk. And then I went to Soho, so I went to some of the stores and I have my little samples ready to be picked by both the stylist and Laura. So I'll talk about how the opportunity actually came about. I received an email from Emily, the stylist, and she basically said that she was interested, or Laura was interested, I'm not sure what came first, in possibly a custom for the British Fashion Awards. And was I interested? I obviously was like, yeah. I sent over a mood board. So I did a first few designs and then we kind of refined them a little bit based off those, and then we ultimately came to this. So I think it could be subject to change again, but that's okay. I'm going to just work on the bodice for now, and I haven't been sent measurements yet, but I'm guessing from the photos I kind of know what like size she is. So I'm going to work on the bodice and, you know, take it in or take it out if I need to, and then work on the big skirt. Typically what I do when I'm making a pattern is I'll do a half toile if it's symmetrical. So as you can see here, I have my bodice. So then I just drape it, and as you can see here, I have this little hip panel and I want to have little gathers here to give it a volume. I think it'd be quite cute on the hips. This is how I usually transfer the patterns onto paper. I'll pin all of my bodice pieces and I use this tool. I actually don't know what it's called. I only knew what it was called in French, and I'll like trace all the lines, and then you can see here, excuse my dodgy nails, the line, and then I'll just copy that. What I'll do now is I'll cut it out of toile and I'll make the first proper prototype. Hello everyone, it's a new day and I'm currently cutting out the construction. I will do the corset, like sew the prototype fully today, and then I have a fitting with Laura and the stylist Emma on Monday. So I'm looking at it and I'm just wondering, is it too poofy? I think it looks cool, but obviously it's up to Laura what she thinks, because I can understand wearing that is like, might be quite a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they think in the fitting, and I could make it smaller. I mean, there's a little panel here. Instead of having this cage, it could be kind of more like that if her hips are actually in here, but I think I'm gonna leave it for tonight. I'm gonna watch some little YouTube video and relax, and then I'll start experimenting a little bit with the skirt, which is really exciting. Okay, it's a new day. I had the whole day basically to work on this. I have my fitting tomorrow, and as I explained, basically I don't have the measurements for Laura, but I figured she's pretty similar to my mannequin, so I sewed it with like 2.5 centimeter seam allowances. I haven't ironed the corset since I sewed it, so obviously it's a little bit wrinkled, but I put the bustle, I think that's what it's called, underneath, and I'm just kind of experimenting. That was me last night. But I'm going to try to do a skirt. They wanted to drape a skirt on Laura during the fitting, but I want to have like an option prepared. I've actually not worked with this type of boning before. I usually work with steel, but since it's going to be just the prototype, and then I'll also do a test with the final fabrics with steel versus plastic boning just to see. I know that they like the idea of kind of like draping a few things while we're there, but I want to have a few things prepared, as I said. So that includes obviously what goes over the corset. I'm here draping kind of like an idea of, they're almost like pleats, but then obviously I won't have them as pleats. I'll just have this as the pattern and then gather them up here, cut there, and do little hand stitches at certain points. So this is the first kind of edit on the bodice. So as you can see here, I basically pleated it. For this one, I just have this little band that's unbiased. It's just pinned for now, but I'm doing it now and I think it could be pretty cool if you were to put either a padding or maybe like interfacing in it. It's a cute detail. So I'm gonna start with the skirt now. Okay, this is her for now. So I basically moved all those pleats just to the sides, and then because this will be silk, I'm sure it'll fall nicely anyways, and I left extra volume inside both of these just because I knew that Laura wanted to adjust the slit when it was on her. I do love this little detail. I think it's really cute actually. And then we turn her, that's what this kind of part looks like. It actually, I think it looks kind of cool. I like it. Basically where this boning and the seam here meets, I'm thinking of just putting a seam there and a seam there rather than have the center back seam. And excuse that little mark, that's just because I recycled part of the toile because obviously it takes up a lot of fabric. This is how we drape the skirt during the fitting, and it's ultimately what we went for, and you can see the ribbon represents the drawstring, and Laura was really happy with this and so was I. So I just had the fitting with Laura and with Emma and it went really well. So as you saw the toile beforehand, we like put the corset on Laura and it fit really well. So we just basically, for the skirt, we just draped it, and we like, I don't even have to change the actual pattern. All I have to do is copy the new drapes and like, you know, add a little bit of length in certain places, but like I'm feeling really good about it. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing my little to-do list, because that's just like genuinely, I have to like plan everything meticulously or I get such bad anxiety. But I'm doing that now. If I have time before the fabric shops close, I'm going to run and buy the fabrics, which would be fab if I could do that. And yeah, then I get to start working on it.
Oh, you recorded?
Yeah. Wait, show it if you're gonna. Wow, we got 100%.
Whoa, look how good it looks.
Yeah, it looks really good actually. So I have 6.5 meters of this gorgeous 100% silk. We're gonna light our candle to transfer our draping into a pattern. So this is the vibe of the music we're going for today. So I'm just basically editing the corset pattern. It's pretty much the same. The fit actually worked. This is the current state of my apartment. I transferred all of the drapings onto patterns and now I've cut them all out and they're on my silk. So I just about have enough because I'm cutting on bias, which takes up so much fabric. But I'm going on a little like date with my friends, so I'm gonna meet her and then I'm gonna go back and cut this out because I have like a list of everything I need to do every day and this has to be done today. There's no other option. It's like Wednesday morning now, so I'm gonna go buy the thread I need. I just realized I was gonna start my corset and then I was like, oh my god, I literally only have like white or like bright red thread. Also, I literally got this mirror the morning of the fitting with Laura Whitmore because I was like, how is she gonna even see what we're draping on her? And I had to carry it down Oxford Street. It was kind of a humiliation ritual, but love her now. You can see what I'm wearing. This is the thread color match. It's a little bit darker, but in a really nice way, I think. So I thought I'd also show how I'm making the corset a little bit more structured. So of course I'll have my boning, but what I'm doing is I'm actually sewing a layer of cotton inside the 2 layers of silk. So it's quite dense, as you can see, because the silk is like pretty lightweight and I really want it to be like really structured, really flattering. This is the inside. And then I have another silk layer and then I'll close all together. So this just gives it a little bit more structure and just holds the shape a bit better. So yeah, for every piece I basically have the cotton inside and I sew all the way around and then I act as if it's one piece and continue. My studio looks utterly crazy, but this is all connected now. So basically I connected them at the top. It's all matched up quite nicely. I'm pretty happy with it. Hello everyone, it's another day in the studio. Time check, it's Thursday now, and as I showed you yesterday, maybe with better lighting, I'll just show you this. This is the bodice, and I this morning went to Fanyu Trimmings. I went to quite a lot of haberdasheries, but they actually just did not have a metal zipper. And since this is like quite a tight little corset, I was like, okay, we're gonna do a metal zip. So I got a YKK zip, which is like the best zip you can get, and they didn't have the size that I wanted, so they were so lovely in there, and they literally took the teeth off and moved the closing at the bottom up to here. So all I have to do now is cut. Little update, I have put the zip in, it's underneath this tab, and then I did my shoulder straps. In the end I just top stitch. I like got the seam allowances, fold them in together and top stitch them in because it's going to be covered anyway, so I'd rather do that than hand stitch so I can spend more time doing what I do for boning. My seams, I put a pin in the seam and then I basically go on the other side and make sure that it lines up, and then I put the pin, as you can see, perpendicular to the seam. And when I do that, I'll top stitch 0.5 from the seam, so then I create a 1 centimeter channel, and then I can put in my boning. My boning is 0.8, I think. I should double check before I top stitch. This is what I mean, it's like just perpendicular to the seam and it lines up on the inside there. It's also crazy that it's this dark at literally like 2 p.m. I'm like going a little crazy. So this is her at the moment. What I'm just gonna do before I go to bed is do the hand stitches. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously this will be up here, but I'm really happy with it. Hello, it's now Friday morning. I worked into the night, so I managed to finish the neckline piece, and I also cut out the bias strip. Okay, so the corset is finally officially done. I've been working on it for what feels like, I think it's been now 3 days officially since I've been working on it, but it's finally done this Friday morning. I need to put the little labels in these and post them, so I need to go to the post office, and then the skirt. So these are the skirt patterns and they're all double layered, and I completely forgot I also have to do a pocket. So this is gonna be what I'm doing for the rest of the day. This is the skirt. She's very big. This is the waistband before I put in the pleats. It's a crazy shape because these are basically where the hip panels are. I did this last night actually. I put in a pocket, and because there's no seam here, but I wanted a pocket without like a welt, I basically did one of these pockets and I put in a little hand stitch here and here to basically make it look like an invisible pocket is in a drape. Drawstring will be put in this seam here, and then obviously I need to iron everything. We are coming close to an end, which is really exciting. I mean, there's still so much to do, but I can actually like see the form of the dress. What I'm doing now is putting the zip in, then I have to do the folds, and then I have to apply the skirt on. I'm gonna probably do a machine stitch from the inside, and then I'll probably do a hand stitch just to close off, do like a hand stitch with the lining into the corset, just so there's no raw edges. Should be easy enough, just time, that's the issue. But I'll 100% get it done because I'm going to Ireland on Monday. I only really have tomorrow. Obviously I have to go to Ireland. It's not ideal, the timing, but I'm speaking at a careers event and I'm also speaking at Trinity. So the drawstring was put in yesterday along with the invisible zip at the back. So now what I'm doing is I'm draping the skirt the way I want it to. Genuinely has taken me so long to drape because obviously with the ruching, these change quite a lot. And at first I was like pinning them, trying to make them all symmetrical, but I realized genuinely if this moves in any way, it's not going to be symmetrical anyways. So I'm just letting it fall naturally. I do really love all of this detailing. I'm going to come in with my threaded needle and do stitches where I've pinned. So I'll do that first. So I have one there. I have my invisible zipper here. A little check-in. I basically tried to machine stitch it. So I pinned basically the circumference of the waist of the skirt to where I wanted it on the corset, but I just felt like I wasn't able to see properly the line that I made. So what I'm doing now is I'm just hand sewing it. So it's gonna obviously take a while because I have to do really small stitches to make sure it holds the weight. So as you can see here, I hand stitched all the way around, and I'll give it a little iron tomorrow, but for now. But this is what it looks like right now, which is super exciting. As you can see, the way you put the dress on and off is that you unzip this panel, and then you undo the bustle, and then you will undo the zip here. Hi, we're back in London. I'm here with the lady herself. I arrived at 8 AM and I was supposed to have my fitting at 10, but Laura wasn't feeling well, so the fitting was moved from yesterday then today, but Laura's still not feeling great, and so we're gonna do it tomorrow in the end, in the morning, early. But the dress is done, so honestly, I'm not like, you know, worried about it or anything. I'm gonna go to a hotel where Laura's getting ready tomorrow morning, which is super exciting. Then I have to figure out how to transport the girl. So I'm off to my Christmas market. Then I'm going to do a bit more work, and yeah. It's crazy to think that the next time I record anything, it'll be the day that my dress is worn at the British Fashion Awards. It's pretty insane. Okay, so it's the British Fashion Awards. So it's now 10 AM on Monday morning, December 1st, and we're gonna shortly make our way to the hotel. It's by Piccadilly Circus. It's raining though. Normally I would have walked just fine, but with the rain, I cannot risk her. I can't risk her. This is the most, like, even my boyfriend was here yesterday and he was looking at the dress. He's like, this is the most impressive thing you've made. I'm like, but kind of true. It is the biggest thing I've made by far. So I need to get as many photos of it as possible. Then I need to reply to a few emails. I hopefully have everything good for a press release or two, so hopefully that's all good, and then yeah, we're gonna be on our way. I'm so excited. This is the final video of Miss Girl on the mannequin.
I'm actually wearing an Irish designer, a designer called Sasha Donnellan. I thought I had to represent a bit of Irishness.